Well, it's a desperate situation. I know a lot of Kenyans are suffering because of high prices of commodities, and it's really biting hard. I know there are so many families which are really suffering. Some don't even have something to eat because they can't afford, and that's really a big challenge. There are many factors to this. One factor is, of course, the pandemic in which we are in has affected our economy negatively in many ways. And it's not just Kenya, but globally it's a problem that is affecting even big nations, US and the others. Then we have the issue of IMF conditions. IMF conditionalities are really affecting. In fact, they were contributed a lot to the finance bill 2021 that we passed in Parliament, because one of the conditionalities of IMF is for the government to increase the tax base, and ensure that we are able to sustain some of the programs that we are running. The second thing is the budget itself. It was very ambitious, and now we are talking about KRA needs to get at least 2 trillion Kenya shillings, up from 1.6 trillion shillings, which was their target last year. So because of that, I think they have to increase taxes so that to meet those targets. And those are some of the factors which are contributing to the problem we are having. And of course, general problem of management the economy. We've been talking about public debt. Public debt, we have to pay our debts. Now, when you want to pay the debts, you need money to pay the debts. Where do you get the money? You increase taxes so that you get money to pay the debts. So you can see how the overall economic management is now affecting even our common mwananchi, because he has to pay more taxes so that the government can, one, sustain its program and pay its debts. So the issue of debt is really a big challenge to this country, and I'm hoping that the next government that will come after 2022 will be able to deal with the issue of debt very well. Then of course the issue of corruption that we talked about earlier. When we are losing 2 billion shillings a day,
it's a lot of money that can be used in the economy.
It's a lot of money in the economy. If that money could be harnessed, then we would not end up charging people more taxes. So that is a problem, and I think a lot of effort should be put into managing corruption in this country, so that we save resources, and the government can get a lot of money. I brought a motion to Parliament because 4 trillion Kenya shillings is being held in offshore accounts by corrupt Kenyans. If this money came to this country, it will sustain us for 2 financial years. And we will not even require to charge to ask Kenyans to pay more taxes. So really the issue of economic management of this country is key, is very key, and it is more complex than people just standing up and saying a bottom-up approach.
Is there hope for a common mwananchi?
There is hope, but we must do our role as citizens very well, by ensuring that the leaders we vote in must be credible leaders, must be leaders with a track record, must be leaders who stand for something, must be leaders who are real statesmen in this country, and not people who are just taking advantage of the situation in this country to say, oh, bottom-up approach, hustler and in. We need leaders who have been tested over time to be on the side of wananchi. and not people who are just coming up with ambiguous agendas, which they themselves don't even believe in it. Yeah, that is why earlier on we were saying you cannot implement bottom-up approach, economic approach, if you don't deal with corruption. If you don't want people to talk about corruption, you cannot implement it. So this problem we are facing as a country now, with the increases in the prices of key commodities, it is because of the way we are managing our economy. In Parliament, we tried as much as possible to even remove taxes that they had put on essential items like unga and the others. But I'm even surprised that even after we remove taxes from those essential commodities, the prices are still gone up. Because one, there is an increase in VAT on cooking oil and cooking gas. So that affects the prices of ugali, it affects the prices of chapati and all that. So we are really in a tight situation as a country, because one, donor conditionalities, two, we have an ambitious budget which we must finance, and for us to finance that we have to increase taxes, and then overall problem of economic management. If we are borrowing too much, who is going to pay those debts?
We have to get a way to pay the debts.
We have to get a way to pay the debts, and the debts are going to be paid through taxes. So we must deal with the issue of debts, public debt. And it's a very serious issue. Very serious issue that we can't run away from.